Welcome to my channel, Daddy's Gallery. Today I will show you, horror and thriller Indonesia movie from 2020 title Mangkujiwa. Before I continue, I want to let you know if this video contains spoilers, I suggest you to watch the film in its entirety. Have a nice day and enjoy. A horse-drawn carriage came to the village. Someone was greeted by the village head. This man is named Berdisino. He is asking that there was a problem in the village and want to know about where is she. Finally the village head invited him into an old hut. Berdisino found the Kanthi was being held in buffalo pin with a terrible and neglected face. He's talking about Kakro who has made Kanthi like this, and actually Kanthi isn't crazy. He said that if she wanted to take revenge, made Kanthi's face full of pain and revenge. And he also feels the suffering that he is going through. Who is Kakro? All will be explained in the next section. Finally, Berdisino took Kanthi to his house. The residents felt that Kanthi was the cause of the calamity that had happened to them. There are villagers who feel pity, there are also those who feel hate for her life. Will the journey to her new home be happy or not? We will see. When she got home, Kanthi was placed in a room near the well. It was seen that she was being bathed using water and flowers. Sidi carrying a unique mirror, and Berdisino carrying Kanthi somewhere. That makes Sidi feel sorry for her because Kanthi apparently remains in buffalo pin. While in buffalo pin, Kanthi looks at a mirror which is quite strange for her. This woman is Nyi Kananga, a woman who is trusted to clean the sacred mirror owned by Kakro. When washing the mirror, Kakro came to visit and asked why Nyi Kananga was still cleaning the mirror. It's outside, why not just inside? Nyi Kananga said that the mirror have been cleaning for 19 years. Kakro is worried that bad things will happen. Nyi Kananga said that this mirror always causes trouble, and does Sir Kakro have unfinished business? Because this mirror actually has two, one is in Mr. Brado and the other is in Mr. Kakro. Kakro is angry and leaves Nyi Kananga. At the Berdisino residence, Sidi was seen bringing the black chicken for Berdisino, and asked what the chicken was for. But Berdisino said that this is my business, not yours. Sidi looked doubtful. Berdisino finally performed a ritual using various animals, to be given to Kanthi. Kanthi was forced to eat it, which made her feel hallucinated by seeing various kinds of reptiles, which is terrible. Kanthi screamed in fear. Sidi hears Kanthi's screams, feeling sad and scared. This is Carmila, a seller and supplier of antique and cursed objects to collectors. In a hotel room, Carmila met a client who was going to buy and sell these stuffs, because negotiations failed. Carmila's bodyguard tries to kill the client. In the middle of the fight, a waiter knocked on the door to give orders. The bodyguard managed to kill the client and fell on the floor. Unintentionally the waiter entered and saw the incident. This is Uma, a waiter who works in a hotel. When she was watching the stabbing victim, she saw assistant Carmila coming out of the room, which made Uma shocked and frightened. At that moment she fled, and was chased by the bodyguard to catch her. But unfortunately, when she was about to run away and get into the elevator, Uma was finally caught. In that room, Uma was tortured by Carmila by being drowned in the bath repeatedly. Carmila's assistant whispered on Uma's ears and tried to rape Uma. At that moment Uma felt something had entered her. In another place Nyi Kananga saw the mirror moving violently, giving a bad omen. When the two of them were on the bed, Uma's eyes turned red and killed the assistant with breaking his neck. After that incident, Uma was seen moving to a small village accompanied by his friends. Without realizing, it turns out that Uma is a nephew of Berdisino. Berdisino is happy to welcome Uma's arrival, and said that Uma was the one to look forward to. At night, Berdisino performs a ritual that makes Sidi feel scared. And Kanthi seemed to be hallucinating and possessed by seeing various mystical things that happened to her. Berdisino was seen bleeding on his back due to the ritual he did. Sidi tries to treat him. The next day, Uma saw a car coming to Brdisano's residence. Uma looked scared and it turned out to be a bodyguard who had chased him before. The bodyguard met with Brdisano and asked where Uma was. Brdisano seemed to know what he wanted the bodyguard, though doesn't know why he's looking for Uma. Finally the bodyguard entered the house and didn't get Uma at home. Uma tells about what happened to her and Brdisano tries to calm Uma. The other day, Nyikananga met with Brdisano and saw Uma doing her work. Nyikananga's eyes give a special meaning, there is a happy look towards Uma. The old black car is running over, there is a bodyguard monitoring the car. It turns out that in the car there are Brdisano and Uma. When Uma was cleaning up his work, Uma was surprised by the presence of the bodyguard. A fight broke out between the two of them. The bodyguards tried to kill Uma. Uma's face is full of blood. Suddenly Uma becomes violent. She doesn't know where the power comes from to be able to kill the bodyguard. In the distance, Brdisano sees lot of things, silent and left without saying anything. In other occasion, Brdisano explains what really happened. Uma asked about her mother figure, because Uma absolutely didn't know who his mother really is. Brdisano tries to convince Uma about his mother's figure that Kakro is the murderer of his mother when Uma's mother was pregnant and hanged herself. It turns out that Kanthi is Uma's own mother. In another scene, we are shown how Kakro and Kanthi meet. It turns out that Kanthi is a beautiful Javanese dancer. Kanthi entertained at the Kakro party that night. A village head asked Kanthi to accompany Kakro for the night and Kanthi followed the village head's words. Finally, Kakro and Kanthi enter Kakro's room. The picture of the story made Kakro wake up from his sleep and hallucinate the many reptiles that fell into his bed. Until Kanthi comes into his dream and wakes his up for the second time. After knowing the story from Brdisano about her mother's death, Uma went to her mother's grave. There he met Siddhi, who was mute, explaining that he was the one who raised Uma. But Uma does not understand and angry with Siddhi. Until finally leaving Siddhi and his mother's grave. The night of waiting has come. Uma goes to Kakro's house to take revenge about his mother's death. But there is a Siddhi to forbid it, but Uma doesn't care. So that the commotion of the two of them was known by the Kakro guards. They were surrounded, a fight broke out that couldn't be avoided. Uma finally managed to escape and found Kakro relaxing in his room. When he was about to attack and stab him with a knife. Kakro quickly noticed this and immediately countered Uma. Uma is desperate and tries to fight back, but because Uma is only a girl, Uma falls down with blood. There was a scream that made Kakro immediately startled. Kanthi came out of her nest. All the guards were killed by Kanthi. Until she finally met Kakro. The strength she got from the Kanthi, Uma stood up and pulled out a sharp hair ornament and stabbed Kakro to death. Kanthi's gaze looked happy. Brdisano and Nyikananga looked happy too. Revealed that all of this had been prepared by the two of them, Brdisano and Nyikananga. In fact, they conspired to kill Kakro. So that the twin mirrors could be put back together and life would be quieter. Is it quieter or yet? We don't know. Thank you for watching this channel. Always be happy and enjoy the day.